Hello guys, and welcome back to another episode here on the 404 Not Found Technical Server. So today we are beginning at the old iron farm. I say old because we're going to be taking this down, and there's a very good reason for doing so. Now, you might notice a few little things. First of all, there's a few beacons and it looks like a trench. That is, yep, we're building another perimeter, and the perimeter is in one of the most important areas of the entire server, and that's because we need to remove all of this for lag reasons. So if I turn on what I need to show, you'll see here it says toggle spawn chunks, and this is the spawn chunks. And we need to remove all the blocks within this brown area. Now technically we only really need to remove the red and the green ones, but we might as well remove the area for the brown bit, and we are making the perimeter slightly larger than these chunks. And the old iron farm is made inside of this brown area, and if you're wondering what the hell these chunks mean, I will now explain. So green is the fully loaded chunks. They're always loaded in at all times, so anything built in there will run as if it was just, a player there, unless it's random tick based, then that won't work. The red ones here are the lazy chunks, so redstone will still work, but entity processing doesn't, so mobs, for example, in there will be registered as being there, but they won't actually have any AI or anything like that. So useful for mob switches, but we use chunk loaded for mob switches, so we don't have to worry about that. This area is the lazy chunks, and these are just where the blocks are updated. If we remove all these blocks, then it will at least increase the efficiency of the performance of the server quite a bit. And speaking of performance of the server, we have now got a new server provider. So we changed from Pebblehost to Minecraft Hosting Pro, and now I am the official owner of the server, even though Hyper is the founder. So I pay for it and I run the server now. So we've now got a bit of a better server in terms of performance, and we can actually run quite a few things now reasonably well. So the other day we ran a new 2x2 spruce tree farm, as well as the hoglin farm, and those ran really well. And also we ran a raid farm and a hoglin farm at the same time, and it ran way below 30 MSPT. So we've now got a lot more leeway in terms of performance, but still, if we remove the spawn chunks, we will increase the lag. We'll decrease the lag quite considerably. And the iron farm is in the wrong location anyway, so we need to remove it. And it's not the nicest thing to look at either. And it's a decent farm, it's a number one farm, but yeah, we need to have a new location for an iron farm. So I will be finding a new location and designing a new iron farm. So I'm here in a creative world to start designing the intermediate iron farm that we're going to have. So it's intermediate because it's not going to be the final one we ever have, but it will be our replacement for the one at spawn. And I'm going to basically go through the sort of design process that I'm going to do, and also do a very quick rundown of how iron farms work. I won't go into full details. I'll link in the description a video by Logical Geek Boy where he goes into absolute detail on how to make an efficient iron farm, as well as Nemble's video on iron farm designing and mechanics. For an iron farm, you need villagers and a hostile mob. Now, the villagers, they need to be able to sleep, and you need to have 3 of them. And if you provide those and you allow them to sleep, you will have the first steps towards having an iron farm. The second step you need is obviously the mob, and the mob needs to scare them. And that has to be a hostile mob, so zombies and pillagers. In this case, I'm showing you can also use other mobs such as any of the mobs from a raid or any of the mobs variants of a zombie. Then once they can scare them, then you can start generating iron with 3 villagers. Now there are other ways as well where you can have multiple villagers just in proximity to each other, and they will start spawning iron golems without being scared. The mechanics of that I don't really know too much about, and it's less efficient definitely to do it that way, so I will not be going that route. Now there is a tool in Carpet Mod that allows us to track villager iron golem spawning, which in this case is here. So this is the time before we can have another iron golem spawn, which is another thing. They have a cooldown that we have to wait for before you can spawn the next one. This means that they're being scared, and then this means that they have a bed. So if I provide this guy with a bed, and then hopefully, there we go, see, it's gone green. There we go, it's gone green, he's getting scared, and now he's going to move over here, so I'm going to put him back on. There we go. So yes, now he's not scared anymore, and he has slept. So even though he hasn't got a bed anymore, because he has slept, he could for a while still spawn iron golems as long as there's 2 other villagers in proximity. For the mobs, we've got basically, as I said, zombies and pillagers, and we need to pacify this villager, so get rid of this crossbow. but they have different scare ranges, and the scare range for a zombie is 8 blocks, and the scare range for a pillager is 15 blocks. With the current iron farm at spawn, it is a zombie, so it's using the 8 blocks scare range, whereas I want to go the route with a pillager. Okay, this is the new layout I've gone for. It's not symmetric, unfortunately, so I will move these cells across to the other side in a minute, but I want to test it out first, see if we actually get 4 iron golem spawning. If not, be a little bit problematic, but let's go ahead and summon in a pillager. Are they only 2? That is interesting. Those ones, that one isn't getting, and probably the corner ones aren't getting the, they can't see it, so that might be something to do with it. Okay, I've now slightly changed the layout a little bit, so hopefully now all the villagers can see the pillager, and hopefully we start getting 4 spawning, or up to 4. So let's summon the pillager in now. Just change that to be 64. There we go, and only 1 spawned. Interesting. I'll do a tick warp. There we go, got 4. Right, okay, so just a matter of the inconvenience a little bit there. Right, let's kill the iron golem again. And do another tick warp. 4. Right, okay, cool. It just happened. Oh, the pillager got killed. Okay, cool. And for some reason I cannot get out. There we go. Right. Cool. Right, now I need to do the actual spawning platforms, and I'm going to go ahead with nether portals. So these are the spawning platforms I'm going to go with, and hopefully these will allow 4 iron golems to spawn every time we scare the villagers. That never hasn't been set up yet, so they won't go through the portals. They will just stay on the platforms hopefully, and we can actually be able to see that there's 4. So let's go ahead and summon in the pillager. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Brilliant. Right, excellent. Now the next stage is to get a pillager to come in and out. So I want to do it with a rail, much like the farm that's already at the spawn. This way you don't have to bob up and down the pillager, and we don't have to have several pillagers. We can just have 1 pillager and have it go all the way around, and hopefully that will indeed work. So let's actually just go ahead and test it. So let's have the pillager spawn in there, and then let's put in the minecart, and go to the bottom, scares them, 2 iron golems there, 2 iron golems over here, and then as soon as that happens, should move them over here, and the pillager will go off. And I've also included the cactus and turtle eggs here. This way we can kill the piglins that spawn in the portals and not have their drops just lying there. So this way we can prevent that. Now I need to go ahead and add in some more cells. So I want to go for 4, and I don't want to go any higher than that, because at that point it's going to get a bit too much more complicated, and we're only having an intermediate farm. It's not going to be super large, but we do want it to be a bit better than what we currently have. So I'm going to go for more than what for basically hopefully 4 times as quick. Actually, before I even go ahead and stack it, I've got to actually put a timing circuit in to allow the pillagers to scare the villagers and then spawn the golems and then go immediately as soon as they spawn. So I've actually successfully done that. So let's go ahead and spawn in the pillager again and show it happening. And then there we go. They spawn as soon as it leaves. Now that one's only spawned 1. Previously it did spawn more, so I might add a little bit extra delay just to account for that, but for the most part this is pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and actually now change the circuit a little bit. So I'm just going to show you the circuit. It's very simple. Got a string which detects the pillager in the minecart, which then activates this monostable, so this will be then power this, and then got some delay to go ahead. So if I add some more delay, what I've got to do is add some extra and put slabs here just to make sure no golems can spawn, and then put another bit of delay here, and a bit of redstone. There we go. But that's basically it. So this way the pillager will have line of sight still. So I'm going to activate it anyway. See here, they've got line of sight. So that way it will still spawn pillagers and be able to activate the entire circuit and not spawn iron golems. Okay, there we go. I've now tiled it up. We've got 4 of these modules, and I've just stacked these 2 on top of here because I can then get it within a 3x3 fully loaded chunks. So this chunk all the way out to this chunk and all the way down here, and this way we can chunk load it fully with a chunk loader, which is all the way up there. And we've got the single pillager at the bottom here, which we could turn the entire system on and off. So if we power this lever, this powered rail will get powered and we can start the system. So let's go ahead and just show it off. There you go. See that side's working. Then the next one is also working. Then he goes up here. Now we've got this covering here to stop these villagers seeing him and getting scared by him. Then just happens here again. Although there we go. Yep. And then so that doesn't always activate 4, which is kind of standard. So it's not super stupidly efficient, but it is good enough for our needs. And then because I've left the power on, I'm going to continue around again. So that's essentially all that we have to do. And when the pillager gets back at the very end, just falls down here and stops. So that is essentially it. It's extremely simple. And now I'm just going to show you it's working in the Nether. Okay, so we're now here in the Nether. You can see that this portal has actually got no base, and that's the plan. I'm going to update suppressor portal to allow the iron golems to fall straight down like this. There we go. Got 4 that time, and then very soon we should get another one. As you can see there, both those occasions we got to 4. So this is essentially what we're going to do. So now I need to actually design a killing system, which is going to basically use lava, and a collection system, which I haven't designed them just yet. So that is the next step to do. And this is the chunk loading system. This is designed by Sharp, one of our members, and it is very simple. And it's got a very basic time run as well. So then every 15 seconds we send a minecart out into the overworld, and it will load the chunks fully. So there we go, and then it will come back immediately. I say immediately, within a few seconds, and then it then is able to activate the next one. And this is as simple as it gets, really. Well, that is going to change, so it won't be white wool. I'm just using that with the carbon mod to measure the rates, but just got lava streams on both sides, such that the lava here is the smallest it can be, and it is just inside of the hitbox of the iron golem. You see here. And because they fall straight down without moving to the sides, because they try and expand this way, not that way, then we can actually get them to die without floating on top of the lava, and we can pick up all the drops because they all get picked up by the hoppers here. And now I need to do a test of whether these hoppers are going to be quick enough and dispense the items into a ice stream or something similar. The rates for this are pretty decent as well, 6,090 around that over a 4-hour tick warp. So better than the one we've got currently. Like I said, I can't remember the rates. I think Hyper said it's around 1,000 something, which probably makes sense. You just divide that by 4, and that's probably about the rates you get, if not a tiny bit slower. Yep, this is pretty good, and it will do our needs for now. So yes, the hardest thing about this entire thing is probably going to be just removing the portal frames there, but we need to do it in order to have this very simple killing system. And yeah, the reason it's so long, if you hadn't guessed, is because lava is able to flow 8 blocks in the Nether. But yeah, so for the most part we have a continuous stream of iron golems, and then a little gap in between each time. So yeah, this is pretty good. And now I'm going to go ahead and finish off the killing system. Here we go. This is the system I've made for the collection, and it's extremely simple. Just got irons being dispensed from a single dropper in the middle there. Hoppers are quick enough to get rid of the items and then dispense them. Got some powdered snow there just to allow the items to be aligned, but still coming out quite quickly. And then got slime blocks just to push the items across blue ice. Probably could use packed ice as well, actually. And then it goes into a sorting system, which is for the iron. So just show you, here you go, got iron. All we need is just these two, and I'm just going to turn my volume down a little bit. Yeah, so all you need is two of these, and then it goes into some shulker box loaders. Here we go. Here are the shulker box loaders. Now this one over here will fill up the quickest. This one will fill up gradually over time, and then it's super simple. As soon as this is full, this redstone becomes 15 because it's 14 due to the redstone nuts here. And once it becomes 15, the observer sees it, and detects the change. Then it goes through the hopper, and it goes to this observer, and it then powers the piston, which pushes the observer in the middle here across, which breaks the block, breaks the box, picks up by the hopper, and then it will register back to 14, and then it retracts it again. And in the process, it powers this dropper and dispenser, which then dispenses the next one, and the item goes into the chest here. So it should be all in here. Yeah, here we go. So just from the testing I've done, got 8 in this one, and I don't think I've got any in this one. No, because I haven't run it for long enough. But it is that simple, and I've also got a switch now for the chunk loader, which is just to turn this on and off. That way we can keep the farm running without having to have any players here at all, like any players here at all. So I can log off and this thing would be running. So it is very good. Right, that is essentially it. That's the farm designed, and now we need to go ahead and actually find a location on the server to build up the farm. And here I am on the server, and I've already chosen the location. So it is this area, which is actually quite a bit out in terms of the overworld. If you look at my coordinates, we're fairly far out to the west, I think. Yeah, to the west. And here I've got the schematic up for the 7x7 chunk TNT quarry that I designed for the moss block farm parameter, or chunk 7x7 chunk hole. So we're doing the same here because, you know, move as many blocks as we need to for chunk loading. And also, yeah, it allows us to do some decoration if we want to. And I'll need to remove all of these lakes and then build up the actual machine. And then I need to remember to remove that pumpkin there, that pumpkin scaffolding. And then we will not have a repeat of what happened in the other episode. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and build that up tomorrow. It is late, so I'm going to go to bed. And as you probably may have told for the last few clips, I haven't sounded as well because I've got a bit of a sore throat. So I need to go and sleep this off, and then tomorrow I shall continue with the progress on the iron farm. Okay, the area has now been removed, and this only took one evening, and I had some help from Hyper, as well as 2 newer members, Orb and Pugmilk, so thank you both for helping out with that. Now I did a little bit of a miscalculation in that I didn't had the jeepers too low down, so that they actually blew up all the blocks in between the bedrock. So we've now got just bedrock here, which means that moving around here is quite difficult, and there's occasional blocks here, for example, which haven't been removed, but it's not the end of the world. So just turn off the tool switch. Oh, oops. But yeah, just gonna have to do the decoration with a not flat floor, which isn't the end of the world, but we have got a 7x7 chunk area now completely removed. And then here we have the frame for the schematic for the iron farm. So let's go ahead and show you that. There you go, so that's what it's going to look like. It's going to be slightly above, and then we're going to spawn proof the floor anyway, and then iron golems will just be spawning into the platforms here. And it's quite low down, so we can have the chunk loader relatively low down here at whatever that height is up there, which we'll go double check now. At y equals 204, so it's not all the way at world height, but it's still quite high up. So yeah, right. Now we need to go ahead and do the exact same in the nether, because the nether's also loaded at 7x7 chunks, and we need to remove the blocks there just to reduce some lag as well, because, well, it's going to be running, this farm's going to be running quite a long time, so we'll be running this for hours and hours and hours and hours whilst doing other things in the background, so it'd be nice to try and minimize as much lag as we possibly can whilst we're running it. So that's why we're removing all these blocks here as well as in the nether, and the nether's going to be a bit more painful. So I will now go ahead and start the work on that. Okay, so we've gone ahead and done some progress on the nether side, and we've got the tubes here, already launched them. Forgot to record some content just before launching them, so sorry about that, but as you can see there's a ton of lava which we need to remove. I'm currently in the spectator mode using the /cs command, and you can see there's tons and tons of lava sources, so I'm going to have to use fire resistance and buckets to get rid of all of these lava sources. And then the second challenge is to get rid of this lava lake, and the way we're going to get rid of that is using flying machines. And gonna have to make a wall around it roughly here, so probably go slightly out, make a sand wall all the way around, just go for that lava there, and then yeah, use flying machines to remove the lava lake. It's quite deep. Yeah, here it's quite a deep lake and mostly flat, so I have a good feeling we can remove most of it. Unfortunately, there's this bit here which is just sort of in and out of the lava lake. As you can see here, you go underneath it and you got more lava lake. So that's going to be a little bit frustrating to deal with. It shouldn't be as painful as I fear it will be, but it'll still be fairly painful. And also, there's tons of ancient debris. Well, I say tons, a fair amount of ancient debris which we need to collect as well. So we'll use slow falling potions for that, and then we should have a decent supply of ancient debris as well. Yeah, we've also already collected the ancient debris from the bit we mined up above here, and we also use TNT to manually placed around to allow for space for the dupers. We it was to about here, which is y equals 100. So this bit here that's not removed is roughly down to where we mined and blew up manually, and that was that only took us about an evening. So that was yesterday evening to make the space, and then today I quickly built these up because it's pretty quick at building these now. I've done about 4 or 5, and then I'm going to have to lower it again and build one lower as well in the future once all of this lava is gone. But the next task is to remove all this lava, so I will get back to you once we get to the lava lakes and we start dealing with that. Actually, I decided to build up some sweepers. So these are sweepers by Tokjan from 1.11/1.12. It was featured in a video by Mango. I'll link it in the description. And these are all independent, which means that when they crash, I will not have to worry about the entire thing breaking. So I can just fix the sweepers, let them go on the way, and then we get more. We can keep going. So I can get all the way down to the lava lake. So this is going to be pretty good, and also it's properly chunk aligned. So this is properly chunk aligned for the 7 chunks we need. So all the way over here, all the way down there. So I'm about to launch them, and hopefully things will go well. I'm gonna have to launch it by placing a block above that, and then what I'm gonna do is remove the block immediately after it's moved. So let's test first one. There we go. That worked. Oh, sugar. Well, that failed. Ah, it needs a wall. Oh God, I forgot about that. Oh. Right, I reckon the reason it failed is because I forgot to add an extra layer. That's all there was. I just forgot to add an extra layer, and that should be fine. I backed it up again. So let's see. This better work, otherwise I'm gonna cry. Right, let's stand here, place that, yes! And then it comes down again, yes! Yes, 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 yes! Right, okay, well let's launch the rest. oh, I'm so happy. Oh, well, you keep going until you crash eventually, and hopefully most of this lava will be gone. So I'll see, I'll see you when that happens, or something else fails.
Okay, we have also more or less finished this side as well. Use the sweepers. Sweepers sort of did help. I actually wouldn't recommend using the sweepers now, because the fact that I needed to actually make a proper wall around the lava lake, because the lava sources just kept spreading in slightly into into what was getting removed, so it was still a bit of a pain to remove. So I made a wall and that helped. And then I used the sweepers again when they crashed. I then had to remove blocks below it. So I'd use a different type of sweeper for lava lakes, otherwise they'll get stuck to the bottom. So sweepers that you get with a world eater, I would recommend doing that. So I think next time I'm doing this and I don't use a world eater, I will do it that way. So I would recommend doing the way that I've done here. So let this be a lesson in how to not remove this area the easiest way. This took several days. It could have taken maybe just 1 or 2 days. But yeah, the idea now is we can make the decoration. And also the TNT machines here broke a little bit. I don't know why. I think there was maybe some server lag that caused it to blow up, but it was high enough not to. Yeah, you can see here it blew up over here, which is unfortunate. That is sometimes the case with Minecraft. Sometimes it just really hates you. That's really it for this video. The next video we will actually build up the farm as well as the decoration for it. Feel free to subscribe if you'd like to see that. Like this video if you enjoyed it. And with that, I shall see you again next time. Bye bye.